Hello, welcome. So I'm ready for long hair again, so we're going to be putting in some extensions. These are actually ones that I've never tried before though. I've been so intrigued by these. I've seen them all over my Instagram various times over probably the last year actually. Been dying to try them out and I finally am. So these ones are the Injected tape-ins and I got mine from the brand YILITE. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's like that anyway. So I got 18 inches. I normally get 16 or 18, so I got 18 inches and 3 packs, which is around 150 grams. I have fairly thick hair, so I normally need 3 to 4 packs or 150 to 200 grams. My hair is a lot longer than it was before, so that's great. They should blend quite nicely, and the colour that I've got them to is pretty much perfect. My hair's a bit of a customizable colour, shall we say. It's got a bit of a pinky tone to it. It's not quite red, it's like a pinky tone. It's a washed out red basically, and then I've put a blonde over it, so it's not a standard colour. But I got the darkest blonde that they had and then I did originally go to record it, but it took me various attempts to do it and I got really wound up with it. But we got there in the end. So I managed to basically, I lightened them with the Live Colour Absolute Platinum, I think it was. And then I used the Shrine Icy Blonde shampoo, like the black one. Then I put a load of water in my sink and added a few drops of the Shrine Rose Toner and dipped them into that. And I managed to get them almost, well, I don't know, actually they are quite perfect. I was going to say not quite perfect, but almost, but you know, they're pretty good. So anyway, these are the extensions here, and the difference between these and the tape-ins that I've used in the past is this, look. Can you see that? So they're injected. So they're like this. So like real hair coming out the scalp. I'm absolutely fascinated by them, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I think they're incredible. So they look, if you can imagine, when they're in, they look a lot more natural. I have been dying to try these out. I really have. I'm so excited to fit them. Because the normal tape-ins that I use are just like, they're the same tape like this, but then they get the hair and they kind of just stick it like that to the tape, if you know what I mean, and then obviously seal it in with another bit. Whereas these, yeah, it's like injected in. Honestly, I think they're absolutely incredible. Can't wait to get these in. So as I say, I've got 3 packs and this is what 1 pack is like. The hair is beautiful. Bearing in mind, you know, as I say, I have put this through, well, only 1 lightening. But yeah, just a few kind of, it's had about 5 shampoos actually. It's amazing, really, really nice. So yeah, a close-up of the hair itself, it is absolutely beautiful, really nice, silky soft, nice and thick as well, right from the root to the tip. Nice and cuticle correct. It's nicely, you know, cut along the bottom as well. I probably will end up trimming it a bit, but it is quite nice and cut along the bottom there as well. Sometimes it can be a bit raggedy. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and fit these. So I'm down on the floor because I find it so much easier to do it this way, and you need to be comfortable because if you're anything like me, this is going to take you a long time, like a couple of hours. So before we get started, you're going to need your hair, obviously. You're also going to need some straighteners for the bonds. You're going to need a fair few clips. I like to use these ones here. So, you know, the claw, what they call crocodile grips, and a hairbrush. Also a tail comb if you have one. I can't find mine. I need to get a new one. I'm just going to use my nails. Or the end of the clip maybe, but if you have a tail comb, better. So to prepare the hair for your extensions, what I like to do is the night before I give my hair a really good clarifying shampoo. I actually do it 3 times because when you first fit them, you're not going to be able to wash your hair for, well, it's ideally for kind of 4 to 5 days, really, a week if you can. I can't go more than 4 or 5 days. So you're going to need your hair to be extremely clean. And also you don't really want any oils at the root either, because it's going to hinder the adherence of the bonds as well. So yeah, you want your hair to be really nice and clean. No conditioner or product on the root for the same reason either. You can put it on the ends. I tend to just, I mean, you should do anyway, but I tend to just take the conditioner on my mids to the ends, and just products as well, you know, the same thing. And then the reason I also like to do it the night before rather than just before or the morning of doing it is to make sure that my hair is completely dry as well, because even if I blow dry it, sometimes, you know, like right underneath, it's not quite completely dry. So I obviously like to make sure that it's really dry as well. So I start off at the back. I'm going to try and show you this the very best that I can. So I've got 3 packs. So what I'm probably going to do is use 1 whole pack on the back section, and then the 2 other packs that I have will be more towards the sides, but they will overlap slightly towards the back. You'll see what I mean as I go along. And before I begin, when you do these, I've seen a lot of people do it, and I don't know how they last like more than a couple of days or one wash, because I've seen people and they stick them like that, and that's it. Like, you know, obviously not just on the top, but underneath, they'll just stick them and they won't sandwich them. Well, I don't see how that's going to work. So basically you need to sandwich these. So you're going to take 2 extensions, so like this, so 2 extensions, and you're going to sandwich a very small amount of hair, like a very small layer of hair in between them, if you know what I mean. So extension, hair, and then extension, and then you can use your straighteners then to seal, because these are like very thin strips of glue. So you're going to use your straighteners to then seal your hair in between the 2 tapes. So brushing it through to make sure that we've got no knots or anything there. And then we're going to work from, well, I do anyway, we're going to work from the bottom up to the top. So I'm going to take the back section first, and what I'm going to do now, this is where you will be better off using a tail comb. I'm just going to use my nail. So from where your crown is, then you're going to want to take a section. So you're going to draw a line basically towards the back of the ear, and then any hair in front of that. So it's a bit of a diagonal line. Just take that to the side. So kind of like that, if you know what I mean. And then I just pop this bit out the way like that. And then obviously do the same on the other side. Then you're left at the top here, almost like with a triangle. And that's how we're going to use the extension. So we're going to go wider up to a smaller amount, almost in I always say a Christmas tree shape, so like that. So starting off from the nape here, you want to draw a line at the bottom like that. Obviously, again, better off with a tail comb. So like that. And I leave a bit of hair underneath my bottom layer, because if I wear my hair up, then I want my own hair to cover that as well. So I'm just going to take the first extension here, and I'm going to stick that not right on the parting, but just below. So as close to the parting as I can get, but not on it, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to put this one about a finger's width, like the top of my finger here, from my ear. So we're going to go about there. You can actually get like, they're like tiny pliers. They're really good. I need to get some actually. But for now, we're just going to use fingers. Sorry, I just had to look in the mirror. I'd actually positioned that slightly too high, but it's good now. So then, as I say, we lift this piece up, almost flip it upside down like that. Just make sure that there's no loose bits of hair on the tape here. And then take the other extension, and we're going to put that on top of the other one if I wasn't showing you on camera, I'd have my big mirror behind me and another mirror in front to know I'm positioning this right. But I'm trying to show you. It's not the easiest thing. So yeah, that's pretty good actually. So yeah, just like that. And again, give it a really good squish to make sure that that hair's nicely sealed between those two extensions. And there we go. So there is our first extension. Now, if you want to, you can then take your straighteners and just pop those on the extension just there. Just hold it just for a few seconds like that, and just make sure that that's nicely sealed there. To be honest with you, I don't normally do that because I find that they last just as well without doing it. But I know a lot of people do like to use that. So yeah, there we go. It's completely up to you. And then I'm going to do the same with another two extensions. So I'm going to put one in the middle and I'm going to do the same on this side just here. So we're going to have a row of 3 in total along here. In the middle just there. So as you can see, we've got a little gap in between them. There is a reason for that, which I'll show you in a moment. But there we go. There's our very first row completely done now. So now we're going to go on to do another row just above that. And this is where I said that we need the gaps in between, because we're going to kind of do a bricklay effect. So where these gaps are, we are going to put the next row in between those, if you know what I mean. So we're going to take down this hair again, and we're going to go just above. So like that, just pop this out of the way. I've got a gap just here, so I'm going to put my next one in between, which will be about there. These are really sticky actually, in a good way, about there. And then the next one is going to go in between the next gap. So that will be the gaps there. So it's going to go about here. And then basically we are going to continue that up until I get, let me just take this down and show you, until I get to about here. So we're probably going to get about another 2 rows in. So the next one is going to be again like brick weave. So we're going to have 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then as I get to the top, we're going to have 2. So that's what I was saying about it kind of going like that. And then what we will do when we get to the very top above that 2 one is put a single one. So that one's going to go kind of closest to the crown, which is going to be the top of the triangle. Right, so the back is now all completely done. Really liking how that matches, how the colour is, to be honest with you. It is really nice. These are so easy to use as well. Like, you know, actually to install, really easy. They're nice and flexible and they adhere together beautifully. So we're going to move around to the sides. Right, so I'm going to do one side at a time. Now what I've done and what I tend to do is make sure that I've got equal amounts. So because I have a centre parting, obviously if I had a side parting, then I maybe would put more on one side than the other. But so I've got three rows here, so 3 lots of extensions, should we say, for each side. So I've got one with 6 extensions, so 3, obviously it'll be a row of 3, and then I've got 2 of 4, so 2 double, you know, 1 1. So we're going to start with the 2, and we'll start off with my right hand side. So it's got a bit crinkly now. I'll straighten it afterwards, it's fine. Right, so I'm going to go just, again, I'm going to use this part of my finger and go about that much above my ear. So I'm going to take a row like that. Now, when I position the first one, I don't want it, when it grows out a bit, I don't want it to go over my ear because it can be quite irritating. So we're going to start off about here. And this is kind of as well where I was trying to explain before that the back section, when I get to the sides, it almost goes like my second one's going to be about here. So it almost goes kind of part side, part back. Yeah, I absolutely love like how flexible these are. They're not really stiff. I can imagine, you know, sort of the first night when you do the other ones, they can be quite uncomfortable, like when you're sleeping. Whereas these ones, I can imagine they're not going to be, maybe a little bit tight, but not as uncomfortable. So this one is going to go, where's my mirror? Here, like that. And then the next one is going to go again just behind that, about there. And then obviously we're going to sandwich those. So then we are going to work our way up in exactly the same way that I explained doing the back. So we're going to do another 2 layers. So one above and then one a bit higher. So the next one I'm going to do a row of 3. And then the one above that, I'll do a row of 2. And again, I want to make sure, I mean, I do have a fringe anyway, but I want to make sure that I'm not too close to the front of the hairline. Because again, it can be quite uncomfortable. You know, if you want to tuck your hair behind your ear, it's more visible. If you want to put your hair up, obviously it's going to be more visible. So just make sure, again, that you're doing it about that. You're starting from about there again. Right, so that's both the sides now done. I'm so happy with this, I really am. It looks really, I love this colour. I couldn't really notice it as much when my hair was shorter, like the actual colour that it's gone, but you know, obviously it's a majority now and I really like it. So the last thing that I'm going to do is just do a little bit of face framing around the front here. Now, I know hairdressers are going to be like, what the hell? But I'm going to be using this, which is a little razor. Obviously, you know, if you've got a proper one, then use that, but I don't. So we're going to go with this. So what I tend to do is go from the bottom of my chin and then just slightly take it down to obviously where the bottom of the hair is. So I'm just going to take, because as you can see here, this is my own hair, so I have that naturally anyway. So I'm going to go to basically the bottom of that and then just kind of in a downwards motion like that. So that, as you can see, you get this like gradient of lengths. And then the same on the other side. So you can see, yeah, that's good. I like that. And yeah, I don't really cut the lengths because I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to that. So yeah, I tend to just leave it as it is. But I do find that it does kind of blend quite well anyway, lengthwise. So I'm not too fussed about it really. But obviously if you want to cut the length, then you can. I just won't advise on that because I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to that. I just know about this little face framing bit. But yeah. What do you think? I think it's stunning. Really, really nice. Really nice quality as well, I will say. I think they're stunning quality, like really nice. So yeah, I would 100% recommend these extensions. In fact, I go as far as to say they're probably some of the best ones that I've tried, if not the best. I'm just so impressed. Like, where is the... I mean, obviously my natural... Well, not my natural roots. This isn't my natural colour, but my roots are darker, so I wasn't too fussed about that because obviously you're not going to see that. But yeah, I'm really impressed with just how realistic they actually look, like even right at the tip, like at the top of the extension, and how well they actually blend. That's me, that is. I coloured these to match, so I'm really impressed with myself. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and yeah, as I say, I would highly recommend them. I think they're great. So as always, I will link them in the description box below for you. I think I've got a discount code as well. If I have, I'll pop that down there for you as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate it. It means the absolute world to me. If you did enjoy watching this video and you would like to see more content from me in the future, and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye.